This is the Sony Xperia S, an Android 2.3.7 gingerbread smartphone that will soon be upgradable to Android 4.0. And there are many firsts with this phone. This is the first Xperia smartphone that is branded under Sony and not Sony Ericsson. And it's also the first phone in Sony's Xperia NXT series of smartphones, and NXT stands for the next generation smartphone. So one of the first things you'll notice about the design is that it's really clean, and that's something that I'm quite fond of, and which makes the phone, especially the white one, very nice, very attractive as well. So it's really pretty, and right in the middle is a 4.3-inch display with a resolution of 720 pixels by 1280 pixels. That means that this phone has a perfect 720p HD resolution display, which is great. If you're watching videos, it means that the pixels are native, the resolution is native, so no scaling or stuff like that, which is really nice. The other thing about the display is that the colors are very vibrant. The blacks are very black, and this is not an AMOLED display, this is a normal LCD display, but with something Sony calls the Bravia technology. And Bravia is that Sony TV brand, so they put the technology that they have on their TVs into the phone itself. I'm not really sure how this Bravia engine works, but whatever it's doing a pretty good job. So we've got very nice colors and blacks, so which is really nice. And the other thing about the phone's design is that it's got a very nice soft touch material. Soft touch meaning that it feels a little bit rubbery, but it's not really rubber, and it feels very nice to hold in your hand because of that soft touch. But one thing about this soft touch is that as a result, it does stain quite easily. So one of the things I found when I first started using it, I put it in my jean pocket, it started turning a little bit bluish after about half a day, so I had to kind of clean it up to make it go back to white again. So the white phone will stain very easily. Fortunately, there is a black model, so if you're really concerned about that, you can get that, or you can just get yourself a casing. The coolest thing about the phone's design though has got to be this transparent element here. So you can see, it's literally transparent. You can see my fingers going through there. And initially I thought that's where the buttons were located, but this is actually just a little label. The real buttons are found on top, so I'm not sure you can see it. You can see these 3 silver dots. That's where the buttons are. In fact, it's not even exactly the 3 silver dots, which is a little peculiar, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, but after a while, you wouldn't find it too much of a problem. So for example, if I hit the contextual menu button right here, I'm hitting right at the dot, nothing happens. You gotta move your finger slightly above. So there you go. So you see the contextual menu come up when one of my fingers slightly above the silver dot itself, and that gives it a little bit of a problem when it comes to the home button though, because what happens is that let's say you're in another application and you pull down the notification panel. When you try and pull it up, because your finger is so close to the top part of the home button, sometimes you might actually, I found myself accidentally going back to the home screen again and quitting whatever application I was running earlier. So it's just a little bit of getting used to, but something that you might want to take note about. One thing you want to take note is that because these are touch sensitive buttons, you can't actually turn on the display by touching these buttons itself. You got to use the only way to turn it on is use the power button on the top, which can be a little bit problematic. So now I'm starting to appreciate why Samsung put their power button on the side. So remember, this is a 4.3-inch display, so if you want to use it with one hand, you gotta use your hand to push the power button on top here, but the slide to unlock is all the way at the bottom, and you gotta pull your finger to an awkward position like this and then attempt to slide it. So you see right now I can't really reach the end, so what I have end up doing most of the time is hit the power button and then slide my hands down and do this. So that's one thing that you want to take note of. It is a little bit difficult to unlock the phone with one hand, but it's something that you can get used to. I nearly dropped the phone once just trying to unlock the phone with one hand, so otherwise it's actually a very beautiful phone. Apart from those little minor stuff, it's just really very attractive looking. Alright, let's take a look at the hardware. On the front here you have a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, and on the back here you have a 12 megapixel camera with autofocus and an aperture of f2.4. That's actually a very nice camera. You've got an LED flash here, as well as a second microphone for noise cancelling when you're making phone calls outdoors. Now I'm going to slide open the back just like this, and we're going to reveal a few more details about this phone. First of all, it is not expandable, so you don't find any micro SD card slot. Fortunately, internally you've got quite a bit of memory. The unit that I'm holding right here comes with 32 gigabytes of internal memory. And another thing that you'll notice, it's not using a normal SIM card, it's using a micro SIM card. So Sony right now joins the ranks of Motorola, Nokia as well as Apple in the transition from the traditional SIM cards to the micro SIM card. Lastly, you'll find that the battery is not user replaceable, so the only reason why you will be opening up this cover is to access the micro SIM card and nothing else. And on the side here you'll find a micro HDMI port that allows you to connect this phone to a 3D HD TV. So not just an HD TV but also 3D capable as well. And I'll tell you what all that 3D is all about. And as a bonus, the phone actually comes with the HDMI cable itself, so you don't need to buy them separately, unlike many of the other phones on the market today. And on the other side, of course, you got the micro USB ports. The phone also comes with an LED indicator to tell you when there are new notifications and to also tell you the charging status of your phone. The phone also comes with a built-in FM radio and has NFC support built in. I'll tell you more about that later. As mentioned earlier, this phone is powered by Android 2.3.7, and let's take a look at some of the customizations that Sony did to this phone. The first thing is that they didn't customize the notification panel, so there are no shortcut buttons to allow you to switch your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on and off from any other application. You have to come to either the settings or to use their power widget. One thing about the power widget that you'll notice is that it's missing one button, which is the auto rotate lock button. So that's one thing that's a bit of a bummer. But otherwise the widgets are relatively useful. You have this very nice weather widget which shows you an animation of the weather outside. And you've got a social network widget, shows you your Facebook and your Twitter. You've got this photoscape thing which allows you to show you all the little photos that you've taken, music and all your usual type of widgets. So over here they've also customized the bottom so that you can add any icon to the bottom here. So right now it's got the market, so what you can do is I can actually put the Gmail one to appear at the bottom, and they also support folders as well, so you can create folders and be able to put shortcuts right on the home screen regardless of which widget screen that you will find it on. On the application launcher side, they've also customized it, so now it slides from the left to the right, which gives you a little bit of ability to remember icons using muscle memory. What I mean is that you know that your places icon is always on the second screen, the top left, so very quickly you'll just go and find it immediately. So that's something that we always loved, and they actually allow you to customize the arrangement of the icons. So when I hit this little button over here, I can say I want to put the setup guide right at the bottom here instead, and I can change the order. So that is a very nice thing. Sony also put in a swipe keyboard into the phone, so you can type like this, the quick brown fox. And this is something that a lot of manufacturers have been putting into a lot of their Android phones, so it's very interesting that Sony has joined the gang as well. You will also notice that when you are dragging an icon on the home screen, Sony put in the ability for you to share it. So when I drag the Gmail icon up here, they will allow me to tell all my Facebook friends about this Gmail application itself. Another cool customization that Sony did is that when you press and hold the power button, apart from your usual power options like silent mode or power off or airplane mode, you can also take screenshots straight from here. So press the take screenshot button, it will take a screenshot and save it into your camera roll. So I'm just going to highlight some of the cool applications that are packaged together with the Sony Xperia S. And the first one that I want to show you is called the Live Wear Manager. And what it does is that it allows you to customize certain things to happen when you connect certain accessories. For example, when I come home and I charge my phone, I want it to show the clock on my phone, so that I want to just treat it as if it's a clock. So what I do is I come to the charger here, and when the charger is connected, it will launch an application. And in this case, I've got it to launch the clock application. So that's very useful, and it's a very nice feature. Another cool feature that you will find in the Live Wear Manager is something known as smart tags. So smart tags are these NFC chips that come with the phone itself. So the phone comes with one smart tag, and you can purchase extra smart tags, and you can program each smart tag to make the phone do something. So in this case, I have created this blue smart tag called car. So this is a tag that I'll leave in my car, and what I've got it to do is that when I touch this tag in the car, it will turn on my GPS and turn on my Bluetooth and launch Google Maps, so that it will help me navigate when I'm in the car. So I'm just going to do that right now. I'm just going to take the smart tag and touch the phone like so, and you can see GPS on, Bluetooth on, and now it's going to launch Google Maps. Cool, huh? And finally, I want to show you the 3D camera, and this 3D camera is basically the same functionality that you'll find on the Sony Alpha NEX cameras known as the 3D sweep panorama, and it's actually a panorama application, and while it's doing that, it's going to be, you know, laying the photos on top of each other, so that when you connect it to a 3D display, it's actually a 3D sweep panorama. So it's the same technique and the same technology found on the Sony Alpha cameras. So to view these photos, all you need to do is connect this phone to a 3D capable TV, and you'll be able to view them with your 3D glasses. And there you have it. This is the Sony Xperia S, one of the more beautiful Android devices that we've seen, with a very useful implementation of NFC. If you thought this video was useful to you, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/65bits, and visit our website at www.tech65.org for more awesome videos and tech content. I'm Daniel, and I'll see you guys really soon. Goodbye!